Alright, and this is going to be wrapping up the Glamlite Happy Hour series with I believe the Margarita palette. I'm voicing this over a couple days later. So I only ended up doing 2 looks, so I tried my best to incorporate as many shades as possible in a somewhat tasteful manner with these 2 looks so you guys can see how it performs. Out of all 4 palettes, this is the palette I really wasn't going to buy, but with it being in the bundle, I figured at that point why not, because the bundle was only slightly more expensive than getting 3 of the 4, so I just threw it in. I honestly was surprised by how fun my looks were that came out of this. So as you can see here, I'm placing 2 colors together that maybe necessarily don't blend in super well together, but the trick is that you just want to place the colors very close to each other and make sure that the borders of each are well blended without necessarily blending them into each other. Easier said than done. Tiny brushes are going to be your best friend, and you can see that I can make it look like the 2 colors blend into each other without actually getting them to mix, and then you can kind of just handle the situation that way. So that's kind of my secret to putting weird colors together. This is not really a true red, it definitely pulls more pink, but that's okay. That means it actually works really well with the blue, and I also decided to take a risk and use it to darken up the outer corner. It took a lot of blending, but I eventually got there. It looks alright. For being so colorful, the mattes in this palette actually were surprisingly easy to work with, very little fallout. I got some fallout from the orange initially, but that was because I had loaded up my brush and then not tapped off the excess, so don't do that. But otherwise I found these really nice, and after washing my face, both looks, and I wore both looks for several hours, I didn't have any staining, which super surprised me because usually these colors stain like crazy, but I did not have any staining, not even from the reds, so that was very pleasant. To match with all that blue, I thought, you know, putting weird colored shimmers on top of mattes is a lot easier to do than putting mattes together because the shimmers are not going to create a muddy appearance since you have a contrasted finish. So I took the blue shimmer and popped it in the middle, and I think I must have been subconsciously thinking about their icy collection because this looks like this could have come out of, like if I had bought the icy collection, which I didn't by the way, like if I bought both palettes and put them together into one look, this definitely looks like something I could have pulled out of the icy collection. I must have just been like, maybe it was like subconscious or something, but I think it's really funny that this looks like an icy collection look. So to further increase the 2 blue and orange not looking too muddy next to each other, I am taking the icy blue shimmer and putting it over the pastel blue matte. That really helps to kind of, you know, shift the focus to the different finishes and textures on my eyelids versus the colors that may or may not clash. You know, another fun trick to try. And as you can see, I actually really like this look. This look totally surprised me. I surprised myself with this look. I think this is one of the better looks that I've created towards the tail end of 2022. It like super surprised me, and it made me actually like this palette a lot more than I thought I would. Now, am I going to use it ever again? To be honest, probably not, because, you know, I have a lot and I love trying new palettes, but this was super fun to play with, and the quality for being so colorful has definitely surprised me. So yeah, I really like it so far. This second look that I did, I mostly was doing it as a way to use the remaining colors that I hadn't used yet, so there are some elements to it that are very optional, but were only done so that I could just show off and demo all the shades that I wanted to. I was kind of tired. I wasn't really feeling inspired. I didn't really feel like I wanted to do anything the day I filmed this, so if my energy seems off or if my look seems more sloppy, then that's going to be the reason. So this look is not anywhere near as poppin' as the first one was, but it was still a really fun experimentation with colors. If you'll excuse the lighting, it must have been really cloudy that day or something. So again, this pink shade didn't stain my under eyes at all, so super surprising there. The pastel blue into the yellow into the lighter pink, those shades always blend super easily into each other, no muddiness there, so these were a lot easier. They cooperate with each other a lot better, so good combo there. Now I already used this shimmer, but I did want to use it again, and I'm going to be pairing it with the green shimmer later. Now, as usual, I find these to not build up as well with a brush as with a finger, so I'm using a brush here, but I think I ended up using a finger on my other eye. Now, I accidentally put on way too much and I ended up creating like a really obvious shimmery wing shape. But at that point, it was not really something I could easily fix. So I decided I'll just lean into it and just do a winged eyeshadow look, I guess. So I just ended up just going with it and just doing it on purpose on the other eye. And I mean, I guess it looks fine. Not the best eyeshadow shape for me personally, especially if I'm not doing it on purpose. I don't necessarily want to do it on accident, but I think I made it work. So to bring back those mattes, I'm just taking a very thin pencil brush and lightly putting the mattes right on top of the shimmers. Not necessarily trying to make it look like a cut crease or anything, but definitely just to bring back some of that clarity. And so you can just see the mattes again. And then I just am going in very carefully, blending around the edges. Now I'm just adding a little bit more pink because the upper eyelid is so intense, the lower lash line needs to match, so more pink. And then I'm going to do the lower inner corner with that yellow shimmer, just to kind of echo the yellow matte that's on the upper lash line. But I'm doing shimmer because I always like putting shimmer on the inner corner of my lower lash line. And then I use the pink shimmer mostly just for the heck of it. You can hardly see it here because it's in such a small area, but whatever. And then I realized I hadn't used this shade down here yet, and I was like, well, I guess we're gonna throw it in. So I actually sprayed my brush with some setting spray so that it could be a little bit easier to work with on a precise level. And I'm going to just add in a little bit of a graphic geometric element to the look. This is the part where it becomes so incredibly optional that I definitely would have looked better if I had just completely left this out, but I really wanted to see what this shade looks like. I feel like it looks a little bit too close to the pink metallic for me. Like, I don't think they both needed to be in one palette, but if applied all across the eyelid, I can see that there is a very slight pink purple shift that I think would show off much better as like the point shade on your eyelid. So yeah, you can kind of see it here, how it kind of has that purple shift to it. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that in, so I guess this is a graphic look now. Looks a lot better with lashes and liner. I made sure the eyeliner matched the same angle as the graphic elements of the eyeshadow, and then I think I added some eyeliner to the inner corner waterline. I totally forgot to show what lip I'm using here, so apologies, I can't remember. But yeah, that's this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and that wraps up my happy hour series. This was a lot of fun, a lot of work, but a lot of fun. And I'll see you guys in the next video.